Hey there, Facebook and YouTube and all the other places. Got alerts coming in as I speak. I'm updating folks on Instagram as well. And we're live on Cable 12, telling you about flood advisories and that have been upgraded now to flash flood warnings and flood warnings for the area. So let's go and tell you what's going on. First, here's a look at the overall radar picture. And you can see some moderate rain that we've been seeing all morning long. We're now at about 1.5 inches of rain in Redwood, but some areas have seen over 2 inches of rain just since 4 a.m. this morning. All of that's on top of the 1 to 5 inches of rain that we had over the weekend through Monday through Tuesday. Now the ground started out fairly dry, but now we're reaching that critical point where we're getting to saturation. And what's happening is that heavy rainfall is occurring in a line. It's dynamically driven from the low that's just to the south here, and it's forcing some very moist air off the Atlantic Ocean. It's already that cool air held us down into the drizzly side yesterday, and that's why the rain didn't really cause any issues. But actually, we're bringing in aloft some pretty moist air and even more humid air that you would see in a warmer environment, and we're slamming that into the cool air, and it just can't hold it, so it's falling as some heavy rainfall. We're also seeing embedded thunderstorms and new flash flood warnings issued. So there are a lot of alerts. We're going to get to them here. The first and most important alert that I want to tell you about is the flash flood warning that is in effect for Roanoke City and Smith Mountain Lake. Now, that's in effect until 2:15 p.m. Let me read to you the details of this flash flood warning. Roanoke County, City of Salem, Roanoke, southwestern Bedford County, and northeastern Franklin County until 2:15. So this is a long fuse warning. So that means flooding is going to continue for a long time. Spotters and automated rain gauges, not just radar reports here, are indicating that we've seen 1.5 to 3 inches of rain just over the past 24 hours. The radar shows an additional area of heavy rain moving through the area. And again, another 1 to 2 inches of rain is always possible, maybe even more with it falling there in the red. Seeing it there around the Bedford. Looks like some very heavy rain following over Bedford right now. Flooding of small streams and creeks, urban areas, highways, streets, underpasses, the usual spots, but we're going to start to see them, I think, flood even more than that if the rain continues today. So you never want to drive across a flooded roadway. Roanoke, Salem, Vinton, Stewartsville, all of, looks like the north end of Smith Mountain Lake, just north of the dam, is in that flash flood warning, Manita and Catawba. So that's the most serious type of short of a flash flood emergency that you can get is a flash flood warning. Just issued, that beeping that you heard as I was coming on the air here is another flash flood warning that is issued from Gretna to Alta Vista, almost in the Halifax. It's in effect for Volans as well. And you hear the scanners in the background. I'm trying to hear about trees down because the wind is an issue again today. It's going to be gusty, and that will act on the trees and the soggy ground to maybe bring some trees down. But the rainfall is the main issue. Flash flood warning for southwestern Campbell County, northeastern Pennsylvania County. It kind of lines right up underneath this whole line here. It borders the first warning that they issued, the Weather Service. Northwestern Halifax County and south central Bedford County until 2:45 p.m. So again, these are 6-hour long flash flood warnings. At 8:37 a.m., Doppler radar and spotter reports indicated 2 to 3 inches of rain that's fallen over the past 24 hours. You got to remember, you had another 1 to 3 inches before that. So again, you're nearing about 4 or 5 inches for the week. Flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. These are elevated storms, and that is going to get you. The thunderstorms can produce torrential rainfall. In fact, I can show you here, if you're watching me on social media, you're seeing a cranberry color there on your screen for most of this. That is general rainfall. Now, what happens is the Doppler radar sends out all kinds of little waves of energy in two planes. That's why we call it dual pole. But where it hits bigger raindrops and heavier rain, it returns values like this. So this helps me show you that from Mount Airy to Volans, there is some extremely heavy rainfall there. And it basically helps me pick out the heavy areas of rain versus just a regular old rain. So the brighter colors here through Bedford show me that now the rain is picking up around Bedford and Evington as well. And if you live there, you know it. Big Island's also seeing some really heavy rainfall. And then you go south, Halifax is reporting this rain. We've got some flooding reports coming in here around the Virgilina area. Mecklenburg County, Route 800 near Cherry Hill Church Road is closed due to flooding. Mecklenburg County 911 reported several roads across the county with high water over them. Why do I talk about Mecklenburg County? Well, two reasons. I do have folks that watch from there, but the other reason is that's where the rain's coming from. So this is our future. I mean, this is all going to move. It's moving in our direction. So why wouldn't we start getting reports like this, right? So I'm using this kind of common sense and telling you those reports. We also have a flood warning that's in effect. This is an aerial flood warning. It's just shy of a flash flood warning, but it means that it's flooding. It's just not coming down quite as high as it is in the flash flood warning. That includes northwest Franklin County and surrounds this flash flood warning all down the south side and Virgilina. All right, so we've got numerous flooding going on, and we also still have a flood advisory in effect, which is just shy of a flood warning. All these different advisories can be confusing, but that includes the NRV, Blacksburg and Christiansburg, and all the way up to Fincastle and Troutville, where you also had a lot of rain Sunday. We may see some of this extended into Bedford as well. I know it's pouring down right now in Bedford, but that continues to be an issue, and I believe that's in effect until early or mid-morning or so. It may be extended a little bit longer. There's another view of the radar. Let me move it around here so our folks on cable 12 can also see what's going on. Now, it's going to continue raining throughout the day today, and I'm going to show you why. This is the enhanced satellite picture that is showing you the upper level low. This is the energy that's causing everything, and that low is in the perfect spot this morning to wrap around a very energetic lobe here of upper level spin, and so it's wringing out this moisture. You can see it there underneath the warnings, and you can see over top of the warnings here, that red area, those are the higher cloud tops that are giving you your really efficient rain producers. So the drier air is down here south of Raleigh, but it's not working in the current position that the low is in. And I mentioned earlier in the week, it would be very dependent if we saw any flooding, where these individual waves of energy develop. Well, unfortunately, developed over us yesterday. We had no break in the rain. It didn't flood, but it didn't help because it rained all day. And now today we're seeing a strong area move in, so we have elevated the fact that the ground is saturated and becoming very saturated in a real quick hurry with these areas of rain. Talking a little bit about some other stuff here. We've got, and I've got all kinds of things popped up here. Got a few power outages out. Got about 4,000 out there. Now, one of them is caused by a car accident, so I don't want to say it's all weather. Although we're getting some calls of car accidents, and more than likely, a lot of them have been caused by hydroplaning. But in Roanoke, we have about 704 cases of power outages, 44 out into Franklin County there as well. And we've got power outages in Botetourt County, 265 out there. We'll view by location and see what the cause of some of these power outages are, if we can find out. They're assessing the condition there. This power outage around Copper Hill in Floyd County has been caused by a vehicle accident. But there are roads that are closed. If you go to Virginia 511, you can see that we've got a few weather-related closures out there to talk about, especially where it's been raining here. Let's see. Some of these are old, some of these are new. Bedford County, just for example, Route 616 is closed due to weather, high water. In southern Botetourt County, Route 765 east in the vicinity of Brickley Hill Road is closing because of high water. And again, you can get this on Virginia 511. North of Floyd, we've got lane closures do exist because of runoff there. And now let's go to Alta Vista, where it's raining really hard. Motorists can expect delays due to weather. Gretna has numerous floods here. We've got 792 West, Northside Drive, Rockford School Road. Areas in Pennsylvania County definitely seeing some flooding. And if you go to a live camera right now, you can see that we've got, a lot of rain falling in that area, just a wet go of it. And we're going to continue to see this. I wanted to show you something that's kind of neat. Kevin and I were just talking about this, actually. Now, I can't quite get it full screen, but there is, if you look off to the left here, and I may have this on another tab. Let's see. I don't have it on another tab, but there is some heavy duty. Let me make a new tab, actually, so you can see it. Talking about the moisture that's coming in off the east, off of the Atlantic Ocean. And we talked about the cool air not being able to hold as much moisture, but if we go to a new tab here, and I'm going to adjust the lines and new domain. We'll go Eastern US. All right, so I'm going to show you products, analysis, moisture. I'm listening to the scanners as I talk here. All right, so this is a little hard to see. Let me move it over for you there. And we'll turn that down right now. But this is precipitable water at about 5,000 feet. Why is that important? Well, that tells us, that tells the clouds how hard to make it rain, basically. And so the more of this you have in the air, these green colors and dark blue colors, this is Virginia where I'm moving my cursor. This is moving in now out of the east. You can see that tongue of moisture. This is an area of moisture that we're getting now that really extends all the way off the coast. This main part is going north of us, but the part in North Carolina here is increasing now. So we've gone from precipitable water, which is the amount of water in the air that you can wring out at one time, to just around an inch to less than an inch where we had the rain yesterday. It's trying to jump up to about 1.5 inches right now. And so that's going to make the rain heavier whenever that happens. So that's part of the problem. We've also got this easterly jet at 5,000 feet. This is off the Storm Prediction Center page, coming in at about 40 miles per hour. What happens is when it rains hard, the rain pulls down that easterly jet, and we start to see the gusty winds moving in and moving down to the surface, being pulled down from above. And I've got a whole blog about that on my Patreon site. So I would encourage you to be cognizant of the fact that it is going to be breezy at times today as well. I've got up here somewhere. Yeah, this is the National Weather Service, our friends there, showing the wind forecast for today, gusting at times up to 12 to 17 miles per hour out of the east. Now, with all this rain happening, the ground's very soggy. And also, you got to remember our trees grow into the prevailing winds out of the west. They don't really grow roots into the other wind that we don't really see. They grow their root systems in one direction, and then the other side's pretty weak. So when you get these 17 mile per hour winds, and at times up to 23, it shows there in the lighter blue around Lynchburg, and that's where we are seeing some trees down. Those trees topple more easily because they're already, their center of mass is already kind of back to the west. And so you have to remember that it may not take a strong breeze to topple a tree and create a power outage. And a lot of injuries and deaths occur from falling trees. So that's an update right now. Let's go back to the radar picture. This is what everybody's seeing at the same time. So I apologize for our Cable 12 audience here jumping off and showing you all kinds of different things. But you can see some lightning here. Down to the south, here's Gretna and Alta Vista. It is not really letting up all that much. If anything, Rocky Mount's seeing more rainfall now than we had earlier. It was north and east. These storms really do concern me. Anytime I see lightning like this, that's a sign of a lot of energy. So I really don't see this letting up anytime soon. This could be an issue that we may have to be dealing with throughout the morning and possibly into the day today, depending on exactly what happens with this band. And it's all about the rainfall rate, folks. Right now it's raining at 1/4 of an inch an hour in my area, but if you look at the flash flood guidance, we can, let's see, over 3 hours, and I did something where it's not going to pop up now. Let me refresh this, because this is everything. Flash flood guidance tells me basically how much rain we could see before flooding, and that's changing all the time here. And it may not load because I have a lot going on in the radar picture. Basically, we can only take about 1 to 3 inches of rain over the next 6 to 12 hours before flooding starts. And with flash flood warnings already being issued, that is why we are seeing more warnings being issued. That's why I'm jumping on here to tell you about it. Basically, just to show you, we have another 1 to 3 to go. This is just through the rest of today and into this evening. So watching this very carefully. This is that band that's going to give you another 2 inches, and then beyond that there's more rain Thursday. So theoretically we have another inch on top of that for Thursday. So some of these totals are going to be up around 5, 6, 7 inches, and maybe even more than that as we go into the next couple of days here. I don't know where that's taking me now, so we'll just jump off of that. But that's your update for right now. Hey, listen, if you see some flooding, turn around, don't drown. You can send me a picture of it. I'll try to get it on there for you. It does tend to help rather than showing just a radar map. But I did want our Cable 12 viewers to know about the flooding, especially north of Rocky Mount. I think the south part of Franklin County is okay, but if you're in Franklin County on Cable 12 and you head up towards Boone's Mill or Windy Gap, those areas are going to be flooding. You're going to see flooded ditches. You're going to see debris in the road, mud in the road, things like that. And as you head closer into Bedford County, the rain will get even harder. So watch out, Glade Hill to Burnt Chimney to Goodview and to Roanoke as well. I know a lot of people head there to work. 9 o'clock, the workday is about to start. So be advised, and watch out on your lunch break too in your evening commute. That's your update for right now. I'll have more. I want to thank our sponsor on our social media, sealtightbasement.com, and I'll have more updates as needed.